Alright, here today with some more knife reviews. This is of the beautiful Benchmade Osborne design 960 and 13960. These unfortunately are both discontinued models, both introduced around 2005 and unfortunately no longer available, but you can still find them various places on the internet if you're lucky. The the original 960, harder to come by. They were both originally retail priced at $220. The original, the 960, is going for a bit of a premium again if you can find it. It's going around $200, $250. The 13960 going for a little bit less, probably closer to $150. The 13960 is the Harley-Davidson branded version of it. These are great knives for everyday carry. They're nice and small, they're nice and light, pretty thin, nice for carrying in your pocket. They are kind of too small for tactical. The blade is, not very long. But for everyday purposes, everyday carry purposes, it is just fine. The weight, as I mentioned, very light. Technically, the Benchmade website says that the 960 is 2.26 ounces and that the 13960 is 2.9 ounces. However, when I put them on my scale, I get the exact same weight of 2.3 ounces or 66 grams. So I don't know what Benchmade's doing to using to weigh their knives, but I get same measurement, so it's nice. Very lightweight, great for everyday carry again for that purpose. They are pretty short, pretty small. Closed length is it's 4.16 ounces. Open 7.28 ounces. The blade is 3.13 ounces. They both come in several variations. The 960 comes in a red and silver with the black inlays, and then there was also a limited edition black with silver inlay that was only limited to 200 pieces, and of course all of it's been discontinued. The Harley model comes in 4 colors: red, silver, black, red, silver, blue, and yellow, and then comes in 2 different blade colors, the silver blade and a black blade, and then each of those blades comes in the regular and the combo edge blade. So there's actually 16 variants of the Harley model. So plenty of choices if you want one. The blades are the same shape. They are the modified drop point, hollow ground. Be nice if they were full flat ground, but there's plenty of space in here for cutting for everyday tasks. They're different steels. The 960 is a D2 steel. And I think you might be able to see this on the back here. D2 steel, whereas the Harley version is a little bit more premium S30V steel. And let me see if I can zoom in here on these a little bit. Get a little better view of them. There you go. So here's a close-up of the blades. They have the ambidextrous thumb studs. When you close the blades, they are both nice and centered. Right in the middle there, no complaints. Locking mechanism, it has Benchmade's patented axis lock mechanism. This is the axis lock right here, and just a quick flick of the thumb will open it. Or alternatively, I know some people like to flick it open this way. The only downside of that is that if you don't release that axis lock, you can get a blade that's open this far and have to go and open it the rest of the way. They close nice and easy. So I love the locking mechanism of the axis lock. It's probably my favorite of all the different types. Handle material, a little bit different. They're both the same anodized aluminum, and then they have these black G10 inlays. Now on the 960 it has a little bit smoother, shinier type finish, whereas on the 13960 has more of a matte brick red finish, and it's actually a little bit rougher design. Not rough, but a little bit more gritty as opposed to the polished surface on the 960. On the back here, they have these titanium inlays. On the 960, it is blue, and on the 13960 is just the standard silver sort of gunmetal type finish. They do have, and I'm not sure if you can see this in here, On the inside here, they do have some stainless steel inlays. Ergonomics, they're very nice in your hand. You know, there's no jimping, but for this type of blade, for an everyday carry blade, not a big deal. Nice little ramp for your index finger here. Good size in the hand. I have medium-sized hands. No closed, as I mentioned. It's great to hold. It's great in your pocket. It's nice and thin. Nice size, lightweight, so love the ergonomics of it. The clip design, they have similar but a little bit different clip designs. The Harley model is just a little bit fatter, has the Harley logo on it. They both have a nice flat surface that they run along here so that when you put your put the knife into your pants, it's not going to tear up the fabric on your pockets. These machine milled handles are nice and flush, so love that. The clip is reversible from left to right. However, you can only carry it tip up, which is fine. I think it's easier to use that way. It does have the screws here. On this side, a little bit different design. I guess this is just for maybe for decoration because there's nothing here. On the other side, there's the small torque screw if you want to loosen that, but they're just fine the way they are out of the factory. Durability wise, you know, time will tell. The 960, which is my friend's, he's had for a little bit longer than I've had mine. He's had his for maybe 2 months or so, and really not showing any signs of wear. No scratches. Whereas mine I've had for a couple weeks. Again, no scratches on mine. So holding up pretty well. The only thing I've seen with these, and I saw a picture of a guy on the internet that had this model in silver that he carried exclusively for a year. And what he had was back here, the inlay, it's blue, and it had worn all down to silver. Now you can barely see it. It's, you know, you wouldn't notice it unless you were really looking for it. And on the camera, you're probably not going to be able to pick it up at all. So back here on the back here, there is just the earliest, slightest, almost imperceptible bit of wear of that blue. And, you know, I suppose over time, as I've seen in that other picture, that blue may start to wear off. So, you know, time will tell as my friend carries his. You can just barely see it kind of right in here on the back of this piece as it goes in there. So again, very minor. Again, with the naked eye, unless you're really looking for it, you're not going to see it. But, you know, over the course of a year, several years carrying it, we'll see how that goes. So overall, these are both great knives. If I had to pick between one of them, you know, which one I like better, it'd be a tough choice. They both have their advantages. You know, I was originally looking for the 960, but I could not find one anywhere, or I couldn't find one for a price that I wanted to pay. So I ended up with a 13960. And I'm not really a Harley Davidson kind of guy, but I'm happy with it. You know, the big differences between the two. The 960 has this blue inlay, and I love the look of that blue inlay. I would prefer to have the blue inlay. However, my concern with it would be the wear issue that I mentioned. If this is a knife that you're going to have for a long time, pass on to the kids, you know, I would be concerned that it's going to wear down and be silver. So, you know, trade-off there. The blades, the 960, they both have the same blade shape, but the 960 is D2 steel, and the 13960 has a more premium S30V. So I prefer the blade on the 13960. Again, don't really care for the Harley Davidson name on there. I prefer the Benchmade logo. So another trade-off, but I'll take the better steel over it. And the other area that's different is the finish on the grip here. The 960 has sort of a smoother, a little bit shinier, polished type finish, whereas the 13960 has more of a brick red type finish. It's a matte finish, and it's a little bit rougher. And so in your hand, it's a little bit grippier as compared to the other one. So overall, I'm happy that I ended up with the 13960. As I mentioned, didn't really intend to, but I'm perfectly happy with it over the 960. You know, if you're looking to get one of these, get them while you can. Get them before the prices go up. Get them before you can't find them anymore, or you can't find them for a price that you're willing to pay. And enjoy them. They're both great knives. You can't go wrong with either one of them. I guess I'll give it a little bit of an edge to the knife that I ended up with, the 13960, for the ideas that I mentioned, but they're both great. You can't go wrong with either one of them. So enjoy them. Thanks for watching.